You can reduce your risk of a heart attack simply by changing the type of cooking oil you use at home. That might sound surprising, especially considering all the warnings you've heard about seed oils. But a new study has revealed that a certain fatty acid found in seed oils, once believed to trigger inflammation, may actually improve cardiovascular markers, lower the risk of type 2 diabetes, and fight inflammation effectively. So what's really going on? Were the past concerns about seed oils wrong? And are we missing an opportunity to protect our hearts because of a misunderstanding in nutrition? In this video, you'll learn exactly which oil can support heart health, which fatty acids are truly linked to inflammation, and why adults over 50 may need to rethink how they view fat in their diet. We'll examine the latest research that uses blood testing rather than food surveys, explain the biological mechanisms by which seed oils affect the heart, and show you how to use them safely and effectively without putting your long-term health at risk. Seed oils, also known as vegetable oils, are extracted from the seeds of plants such as soybeans, sunflowers, corn, cottonseed, and canola. They are widely used in the modern diet, found in cooking oils, salad dressings, canned goods, and processed foods. The main component of these oils is polyunsaturated fatty acids, with linoleic acid, an omega-6 fatty acid, being the most prominent. For years, seed oils have been labeled as a threat to heart health. Experts from low-carb, keto, and paleo communities have warned that excessive omega-6 intake from seed oils may disrupt the omega-6 to omega-3 balance, potentially leading to chronic inflammation, a major risk factor for heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. Some animal studies have shown that high doses of linoleic acid increased inflammation and negatively affected cardiovascular function. These claims have fueled widespread rejection of seed oils in certain dietary communities. However, much of the research used to criticize seed oils has relied on dietary questionnaires, which are prone to error due to memory and personal bias. Additionally, many conclusions have been drawn from rodent or cell-based studies that may not accurately reflect human biology. This raises a key question: are the things we thought we knew about seed oils actually correct? While the debate continues, major health organizations such as the American Heart Association still recommend plant-based oils over saturated fats to lower cardiovascular risk. The divide in opinion stems largely from differences in research design and the types of data being analyzed. The bottom line is this: seed oils themselves are not inherently harmful. The real issue lies in how they are used, processed, and interpreted within an incomplete scientific framework. That's why the latest research using blood-based biomarkers is drawing serious attention from the medical and scientific community. A new study conducted by researchers at Indiana University is challenging the long-held assumptions about linoleic acid, an omega-6 fatty acid that makes up a large portion of common seed oils. Unlike earlier studies that relied on food frequency questionnaires, this research used blood biomarkers to measure the actual levels of linoleic acid in participants' bodies. This method provides objective data and eliminates the bias that often comes from memory or self-reporting. The findings were striking. Individuals with higher levels of linoleic acid in their blood had significantly lower glucose and insulin levels, as well as reduced markers of systemic inflammation, including inflammatory mediators associated with arterial plaque buildup. This suggests a healthier cardiometabolic profile and the lower risk of heart disease and type 2 diabetes. What's even more important is that these benefits remained consistent even after controlling for potential confounding factors such as body mass index, physical activity levels, and pre-existing conditions. This strengthens the hypothesis that linoleic acid from seed oils may actually support cardiovascular health when consumed appropriately and as part of a balanced diet. The study also highlighted linoleic acid's role in supporting insulin sensitivity and reducing oxidative stress, two critical factors in preventing damage to blood vessels and long-term decline in heart function. This is especially good news for people over 50, a group whose ability to manage inflammation and regulate blood sugar often begins to weaken with age. The research was presented at the highly regarded Nutrition 2025 conference, drawing significant interest from the medical community. While further peer-reviewed trials are still needed, these early results represent a promising new direction in the nutritional prevention of heart disease. In summary, instead of viewing linoleic acid in seed oils as harmful, this study suggests it may actually play a protective role, helping reduce inflammation, stabilize metabolism, and support heart health. The key lies in how it's used and how much is consumed, not in eliminating these oils from the diet altogether. After the age of 50, the human body undergoes several biological changes that significantly increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. The circulatory system begins to lose elasticity, and blood vessels become more vulnerable to inflammation and damage. The body's ability to regulate glucose, insulin, and inflammatory responses also becomes less efficient, creating the ideal conditions for the development of atherosclerosis and blood clots, two major drivers of heart attacks. That's why identifying nutrients that help reduce inflammation, support insulin balance, and stabilize metabolism is especially important at this stage of life. According to new blood-based evidence, linoleic acid may help improve these key metabolic markers without increasing inflammation, as previously believed. Many people over 50 tend to eliminate all polyunsaturated fats from their diet out of concern for inflammation or elevated blood fats. But doing so can lead to a deficiency in essential fatty acids, nutrients the body needs to maintain healthy cell membranes, produce hormones, and regulate immune responses. Understanding the role of linoleic acid in seed oils can help this age group make smarter dietary choices that maintain nutrient balance while still managing cardiovascular risk. This isn't a call to overhaul your entire diet. It's a scientific reminder we need to look at seed oils through the lens of evidence, not fear. Preventing heart disease in midlife should be rooted in research, not rumors. For decades, most studies on nutrition and heart disease relied on self-reported dietary data, meaning participants had to recall and list what they had eaten over a certain period of time. But this method comes with significant limitations. People often misremember how much they ate, underestimate unhealthy foods, and over-report healthy ones. This leads to inaccurate data and misleading conclusions. In contrast, the new study on linoleic acid in seed oils used blood-based biomarkers, specifically direct measurements of fatty acid levels in plasma. This approach doesn't rely on memory, perception, or personal bias. It accurately reflects how much of a substance is actually in the body, along with its biological impact. By measuring linoleic acid directly in the blood, researchers were able to clearly link intake to key health indicators like inflammation, glucose, and insulin levels. This provides stronger evidence of a potential causal relationship, not just a correlation, as seen in older questionnaire-based studies. For people over 50, a group often targeted with conflicting information about food, this research is especially meaningful. It helps cut through unsupported claims and offers a more balanced, science-based understanding of the role seed oils can play in a heart-healthy diet. This isn't just new data, it's a more reliable way to interpret nutrition science, and a critical step toward making informed decisions that support long-term cardiovascular health. Not all seed oils have the same effects, and not every method of using them brings the same benefits. The difference between the heart health advantages shown in recent studies and the concerns about chronic inflammation comes down to a fine line. That line depends entirely on product quality, portion size, and cooking method. One of the most important factors is cooking temperature. Seed oils, even those rich in linoleic acid, are highly sensitive to heat. When overheated, especially during repeated deep frying, the polyunsaturated fats in these oils can oxidize and break down into harmful compounds like aldehydes and free radicals. These byproducts promote oxidative stress and vascular inflammation, which damage the endothelial lining of your blood vessels and accelerate plaque formation, raising the risk of arterial blockages and heart attacks. Another issue is refinement. Most industrially refined oils are stripped of natural antioxidants like vitamin E, making them more unstable during storage and more prone to degradation when exposed to air. In contrast, cold-pressed, unrefined oils retain more of their natural antioxidants, offering better protection for heart health when used correctly. Portion size also matters. Linoleic acid supports cardiovascular health in reasonable amounts, but excess intake, especially in a diet lacking omega-3s, can disrupt the body's natural balance.
The ideal omega-6 to omega-3 ratio should be around 4 to 1 or lower, yet the modern Western diet often exceeds 15 to 1. This imbalance creates a pro-inflammatory environment. In short, seed oils are not harmful if you use them at moderate cooking temperatures, avoid repeated frying, choose cold-pressed unrefined varieties, balance your intake with omega-3s from fatty fish, flaxseed, or walnuts. Seed oils are neither enemies nor miracle cures. They are nutritional tools, and their effects depend on how you use them within the context of your overall diet. If you've ever been told to completely cut seed oils from your diet to protect your heart, it's time to pause and take another look. The latest research shows that linoleic acid, the main fatty acid found in many seed oils, may actually help reduce inflammation, regulate blood sugar, and support vascular health as long as it's used correctly. So what does used correctly really mean? First, choose the right type of oil. Look for cold-pressed, unrefined seed oils like cold-pressed sunflower oil, organic corn oil, or safflower oil. These oils tend to be high in linoleic acid and still retain natural antioxidants. Avoid heavily refined industrial oils, especially those used for repeated deep frying, as they are more likely to oxidize and release harmful compounds.
Second, use the oil appropriately. Seed oils are best for salads, vegetable dressings, soups, or light sautéing at low to medium heat. They are not ideal for deep frying, especially at high temperatures. If you need to fry, opt for more stable saturated fats like coconut oil or animal fats rather than refined seed oils. Third, watch your intake. 1 to 2 tablespoons per day is generally a reasonable amount for most adults. If your diet already includes a lot of omega-6 from processed foods, consider cutting back on seed oils to maintain a healthy omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. At the same time, add more omega-3 sources like salmon, sardines, flaxseed, or walnuts for balance. Lastly, remember that the benefits of seed oils depend on the overall context of your diet. Seed oil is just one part of a bigger nutritional picture. When paired with leafy greens, fresh fruits, fatty fish, whole grains, and regular physical activity, your heart will be far better protected. Seed oils don't need to be eliminated. They need to be understood, used wisely, and placed appropriately within a heart-smart lifestyle for anyone over 50. There's no denying that seed oils have been one of the most controversial topics in the nutrition world for the past 2 decades. Many advocates of low-carb, keto, or carnivore diets continue to raise strong concerns about the potential dangers of omega-6 fats found in seed oils, especially in relation to inflammation, cancer, and gut health. Some animal studies have even suggested that high linoleic acid intake could increase the risk of colon cancer or colitis. But it's important to separate extreme lab conditions in animal studies from real-world human data. Recent research using blood biomarkers shows a positive association between linoleic acid and heart health. Major health organizations like the American Heart Association and the World Health Organization continue to recommend replacing saturated fat with polyunsaturated fats, including seed oils. Context is everything. If you consume seed oils from quality sources, in moderate amounts, and balanced with omega-3 fats, the risk of inflammation is unlikely. On the other hand, overconsumption, especially through processed foods or reused cooking oil, can increase risk. For those over 50, the goal isn't to eliminate seed oils entirely. It's to be informed and use them safely. Avoid extremes. Make choices based on solid evidence, not fear or trending opinions. That's the sustainable path to protecting your heart. After age 50, the heart becomes significantly more vulnerable, especially when diet isn't carefully managed. Blood vessels lose elasticity, inflammation becomes easier to trigger, and the risk of heart attack increases when poor food choices persist. Fat is one of the most critical dietary components to manage. But rather than cutting out all fat, older adults should focus on optimizing the type of fat they consume. Start by reducing saturated fats from red meat, butter, animal fat, and processed foods. These fats raise LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, contributing to plaque buildup in the arteries and directly increasing the risk of heart attack. Instead, increase your intake of unsaturated fats, especially those found in olive oil, cold-pressed seed oils, avocados, and nuts like almonds and walnuts. As we've discussed, seed oils don't need to be eliminated, but they must be used wisely. Stick to moderate amounts, avoid reusing oil for frying, and choose products with clear sourcing. Always read the label and avoid oils that are hydrogenated or heavily refined. If the oil looks unusually pale, has no natural scent, and is extremely cheap, chances are it's been overly processed and stripped of beneficial nutrients. Another critical factor is increasing your intake of omega-3 fatty acids. Include fatty fish like salmon or sardines in your meals at least twice a week. Plant-based sources like flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts are also excellent options. Omega-3s help reduce inflammation, regulate blood pressure, support heart rhythm, and improve lipid profiles. Finally, remember that heart protection isn't about eliminating a single ingredient. It's about building a balanced diet, adopting a healthy lifestyle, and making informed choices based on real science. With the right adjustments, you can not only prevent heart disease, but also improve your overall metabolic health after 50. For years, fats, especially seed oils, have been blamed as the silent culprit behind millions of heart attacks. But with advances in research, we're beginning to see a more complete and science-based picture. Not all fats are harmful. In fact, certain types, like linoleic acid found in seed oils, may offer real cardiovascular and metabolic benefits when used properly. The problem isn't the fat itself, it's how we use it. Repeated high-heat frying, overconsumption, and poor omega-3 balance are what turn a potentially heart-friendly oil into a health hazard. On the other hand, using seed oils at appropriate temperatures, in moderate amounts, and as part of a balanced diet with whole foods and healthy fats can make them a valuable part of a heart protection strategy, especially for those over 50. Instead of cutting out fats completely or falling into fear-based extremes, the smarter path is to get informed and use them wisely. Nutrition isn't black and white, and heart health doesn't come down to one single choice. It's built over time through consistent habits, clear understanding, and the ability to apply science to everyday life. If you found this video helpful in understanding how to protect your heart after 50, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss our next clear and evidence-based health update. And please, share this video with a loved one or friend who's thinking about their heart health. A small change today could help prevent a heart attack tomorrow. Thank you for watching and for being part of this journey with us.